Non-random sampling. You might use a non-random sampling technique when there's lots of variation in a species distribution. So if the distribution of a species changes across a habitat, you might need to use non-random sampling. Or if for some reason you need to make sure a specific area or specific areas of a habitat are all sampled, or if you need to make sure that every different species that's in a habitat gets sampled as well. First type of non-random sampling is systematic sampling. Samples are taken at fixed intervals. This is a good example, is a transect. So you lay out a transect that goes from one area of the habitat to another, and maybe there's a change in habitat across that in terms of temperature or light or moisture levels, and you repeatedly take samples at set intervals along that transect line. The second is opportunistic. This is where samples are chosen by the investigator as you're moving through a habitat. This is easy to do and sometimes convenient, but it will suffer from having been biased. Lastly, stratified. This is where really specific different areas in a habitat are identified, and then they're all sampled separately, but in proportion relating to how much of the habitat they actually make up. So if there's a field, but there's a couple of trees in the field, you would sample the grass, and then each tree will be sampled separately as well, but you would weight your results to kind of show that you maybe mostly sampled the grass because it was the larger area, and you sampled less quadrats or whatever you were doing around or on the trees because that's a different area and it only makes up a small proportion of the entire field.